So let's talk a little bit practically about how to apply this sense of urgency and our understanding of the challenges facing this. Where are some areas that you really think we need to see more social impact investing or socially responsible investing heading towards? One of the things that I'm most excited about is that when the UN commissioned a study about the biggest contributors to climate change, the number one thing on there, it wasn't cars, it wasn't planes, it wasn't coal plants, it was refrigeration management. Is the way that we actually refrigerate goods, because the way we do it right now is extraordinarily inefficient. And so if we were able to get enough investment in there to build new technologies for refrigeration, we can actually wipe out a huge amount of the greenhouse gases that are impacting climate change right now. And so I'd love to hear some more examples of areas that you think we need to be working on.
Well, we could talk about a lot of specific areas, but let's talk about process and design. Because design is more important than the specifics of one solution. So, and if we were going to talk about one solution, let's just look at solar, for example. If we put on 6 places on the planet, 100 kilometers by 100 kilometers, solar panels at our current technology today, so just 100 kilometers by 100 kilometers, that's like less than 20% of the state of South Dakota. So 6 of those spots would create enough electricity to counterbalance all electricity made on the planet today. So as a species and as a planet, could we give up 600 kilometer by 100 kilometer blocks to create more electricity than the entire system of humanity creates today and uses? So the point I'm making with that one example, and Josh gave one example, is it's not that we don't have the solutions. What we don't have is the process to synergistically converge those solutions. And so what we really need, my co-author, Barbara Marks Hubbard, has been doing what's called a SynCon process since 1971, which he founded with John Whiteside, the CIO of the Air Force, and other leaders. And a SynCon process is mapping what we already have that works and matching that up to the problems. Today is not a problem of our ability to solve the problems. The problem is actually that we're not using what we already have in a wise way to solve humanity's greatest crises. And what we have today in solutions is a fraction of what we'll have in 10 years. And yes, there's going to be inefficiency in how we match them up, but the solutions to the crisis are increasing more radically, more quickly, more exponentially, because most of them are on a digitization curve. Something that's exponential is something, for example, human genomics. 15 years ago, $100 billion to have your genome read. Today, it's $200 or $300. Think about that.
That capitalism pushes people for maximum profit rather than maximum impact. And especially when you have a quarterly earnings system where every 3 months you have to show this financial progress, and where it's so difficult to make long-term investments, which you know might take a long time to actually show any returns, even if they're going to be massively beneficial to society. We just simply don't live in a society, and the CEOs of these companies are legally bound by their fiduciary duty to their shareholders. So does that mean that this very formal conception of capitalism, is that compatible with this future that you're foreseeing? Or do we need to start addressing some of the underlying tenets of capitalism if we're ever going to be able to affect the level of change we need?
Well, first of all, not all corporations are required legally to focus on short-term profit. So we have the B Corp movement, which was founded by J. Cohen Gilbert and other friends. My company, where I'm CEO, Life Guides, is a public benefit corporation, just similar to a B Corp, which stands for Benefit Corp. A public benefit corporation has a legal part of our charter that's actually filed. 17 states have this, which allows me and my board to make decisions that aren't focused on short-term profitability. And we also have to have a public purpose, something that is doing something good for society. You can't be a public benefit corporation and be making cigarettes. And so there are new forms evolving in the system of capitalism. And also, also the way we're using technology. What we do at Life Guides is we use technology to reduce human suffering through an educational model. Our goal is to reduce suffering for 1 billion people on the planet within 15 years. That wasn't even a possible dream 40 years ago for one person to come up with an idea and have that level of impact. But today we can use technology, which has created, yes, in the Industrial Revolution, some problems. But we can create exponential solutions very rapidly and radically. For me as an entrepreneur to say, I'm going to reduce suffering for 1 billion people in 15 years and do it in a for-profit model that's very simple without creating any new technology at all, that's using existing infrastructure and at the same time, I believe, create a multi-billion-dollar enterprise value for my investors. Those types of dreams were not possible even 30 years ago. So let me talk about that for 2 minutes, and then we can have a couple questions in our last, 8 minutes here. People have a few. So Life Guides, where he was talking about the amazing impact that any one person can have. And he was talking about our potential really there. So Life Guides is a very simple idea. This is why I'm CEO of it, and I've left all my other boards. I realized that most human suffering in the developed economies like the United States, Germany, Australia, is actually from what we call life challenges. It's not a personal health issue, particularly in your working years like age 20 to 70. It's you're going through a divorce. It's your child has leukemia. Your mother has dementia. Your home burned down in a wildfire last night in California. So I started to look at the nature of that suffering, and I said, no matter what life challenge you're going through, there are 50 or 100 other million people on the planet who have been through it. And so I all of a sudden realized that we could match up people who have been successfully through a life challenge. Like, let's say you went through Hurricane Katrina 14 years ago in New Orleans, matching that person up to somebody who went through Hurricane Harvey a year ago, and actually take that life experience and give it more meaning, more purpose, more power for our society. This is part of the reason why the founder of Match.com was one of my first investors and board members. Amazing other entrepreneurs have got behind this idea. So we have a matching platform to match humans up. It's sort of like a sharing economy thesis. The first version of the sharing economy was share my car, share my home. Uber, Lyft, Airbnb. A bigger asset on the planet than homes and cars is human life experience. We don't actually work well together in sharing that to optimize positive outcome for society. So a lot of the connections that used to exist in tribes, villages, church, mosques, others, really have been fragmented by society and culture. So we're a matching platform that allows people to monetize their life experience, earn a living wage based on your value as a human being and your empathy, and guide it, being a guide or a mentor to another person. And this actually reduces suffering and struggle for people. When I've sat there with, let's say, parents 3 years into having a leukemia child at 4, and they say, gosh, if I only knew what I knew now, my child would have suffered less, I would have suffered less. Well, our platform allows them to connect to somebody else who's walked through their shoes. And that person who's helping, again, is getting paid, in our situation, $9 for a 30-minute session, so $18 an hour. So we're actually monetizing and optimizing human life experience for a positive outcome for society. That's the foundation of Life Guides. We back it up with cutting-edge technology and a platform and algorithms to serve all the other content that all the advertisers want to serve you, but after you've seen 20 ads, we vet it and we optimize it. So whatever life challenge you're going through, the technology supports and accelerates human empathy. Therefore, our platform is not going to be replaced by technology. The jobs we create cannot be replaced by AI or autonomous systems because it's a human-to-human solution. Human-to-human solutions are what the future of jobs is as we get into the autonomous era. So it was nice of Josh to